Hi, everyone. I'm Colleen, and this week we are starting another multi part series. It is a three-part series on objectives. So, if you are a returning viewer, to these live streams that we're bringing you each week. You know that I just love bringing you these multi part series. And if you're brand new to these live streams brought to you, of course, by Princess Dental Staffing, then hi, first of all, hi and welcome. And second of all, I love bringing you these multi-part series. So whenever we initiate a multi-part series, I get really excited because, um, we're able to bring you information that is tailored and very customized, right? So we're able to do with these multi-part series, we're able to do a deep dive into a specific subject. Like I said, this multi-part series is going to be on objective statements that you include on your resume, and we'll talk about what those are in just a minute. Um, but we're able to do a deep dive into these subjects, and we're able to bring you customized information that is position specific, right? Specific to positions within the dental industry. And this week we are talking about objective statements specifically for a dental hygienist resume. Okay, so I'm really glad everyone could be here to enjoy this live stream and to for me to bring you this information. And of course, if you couldn't watch the stream when it was live, glad you got to watch it later. Okay, so before we do a deep dive on these objective statements, what they are, and what to include, and also bringing you some examples specifically for dental hygienist resumes, I just want to remind everyone that each week, like I said, each Wednesday, we're bringing you a new live stream covering another topic regarding your career in the dental industry. Okay. And these live streams are brought to you by Princess Dental Staffing. So, Princess Dental Staffing is an online dental job board, and they have positions available for dental front office, dental assistants, dental hygienists, and dentists in a variety of different areas. They have part-time and full-time available, temporary and permanent positions available as well. Okay, so if you have some time today, hop on to princessdentalstaffing.com. You can take a look at positions available in your area. Okay, while you're on princessdentalstaffing.com, you can also create a profile and get your information in front of hiring managers and decision makers. And after today, and likely after this three-part series, you'll be able to create a really tailored and targeted objective statement for your dental hygienist resume. And again, over the course of the next few weeks for your dental assistant resume and dental front office resume as well. Okay. Additionally, on princessdentalstaffing.com, you can take a look at their blog. Their blog covers a lot of the same information that we cover in these live streams, but these live streams give you an opportunity to ask questions and to give your feedback, essentially. So if you like the streams that we're bringing you, be sure to drop us a like. And like I said, if you have any questions or comments or thoughts or insights or anything to contribute to this conversation, be sure to comment below. Okay, and if we couldn't get to your comment when this stream was live, of course, we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. Okay, we do read your comments and your questions, and we do bring you that feedback as quickly as possible. Okay. All right, so let's get into today's topic, objectives for dental hygienist resumes. Okay, so we're going to be talking about what objective statements are, why they're important, what you want to include, and we're going to be giving you some examples as well. Okay. All right, so let's start off. What is an objective statement? So an objective statement is generally just a very brief statement that conveys your experience and your skills and what you're bringing to the table to a potential employer in a very concise sentence or statement. Okay. So objective statements are usually in the introductory portion of the resume. Okay, so generally you start off your resume with your name, your contact information, and generally the very next thing you want to include on your resume is your introductory portion. That's usually your objective statement. Okay. So that's usually where it goes. It's usually one of the first things that potential employers view or look at or read on your resume. Okay. So you definitely want to make sure, because it is an introduction, it serves as an introduction to the rest of your resume. You definitely want to make sure that it is impactful and that it captures the potential employer's attention and entices them to continue reading throughout the rest of your resume. Okay. So let me kind of give you a little bit of background on objective statements. Okay. So um, long, long ago in a galaxy far away, before we applied for positions online, job seekers used to mail in their resumes, right? Print them out or maybe even write them out and snail mail them in to potential employers for them to review. Okay. So, um, objective statements were really, really important because usually they were phrased in such a way that says something to the effect of, objective colon um, seeking a dental hygienist or a full-time dental hygienist role with your company or something like that. It's very short, sweet, and to the point, but it also doesn't add a lot of value to the resume, right? Because now that the overwhelming majority of there's still some application processes out there where hard copy resumes are still valuable, but mostly application processes are done online, right? You apply usually via website or maybe you email your resume. Okay. But it was really important to have that objective and to state very clearly the type of position you were looking for, and some other information, like maybe that the fact that you want a full-time or part-time or temporary or permanent and that sort of thing, because they were mailed in. So you wanted to make clear to your HR person representative or the potential employer the type of position specifically that you were applying for. Okay. So it was very, very important to be able to convey that information. But now that most of the application processes are done online, that information isn't really required anymore, right? Because if you're applying for the specific position, the potential employer knows that that's the type of position that you're looking for. So, in order to keep up with changes in the application process, we want to make sure that we're updating how we think about resumes and the information we include. And that includes, very importantly, the objective statement. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're adding value with your objective statement. You don't necessarily have to just list the position and the company that you're applying for. You can add a lot of other information that adds a lot of value and really, like I said, captures the potential employer's attention, since it is one of the first things that they are going to be reading on your resume. Okay. So, what kind of things do you want to include in your objective statement? Okay. You might want to talk a little bit about your experience. Okay. Assuming that you have experience and it's, not entry level, you want to talk about your skills, maybe communication skills, technical skills, career progression and projection, perhaps, attributes, abilities, knowledge, certifications, license, all those sorts of things. Okay. So, you just want to give a short, little statement that talks about what you're bringing to the table. Okay. Um, uh, so yes. So again, you just want to make sure you want to focus a little bit more on, capturing the potential employer's attention by giving them just a short little elevator pitch. Now, again, back in the day, objective statements were crucially one sentence long. Okay. There were only one sentence. And if you had more than one sentence, it just wasn't done generally. Objective statements were only one sentence, but again, in thinking about your resume in terms of updating it and keeping it modern, you don't necessarily have to stick to just one sentence. Okay, it doesn't just have to be one sentence. It can be one or two sentences, but the main focus still is on brevity and conciseness, a nice little elevator pitch. Okay. So if you don't use, and I know some people like watching this video might say, oh, objective statement, more than one sentence. Colleen, are you crazy? No, I promise I'm not crazy. Um, you can have more than one sentence if you want to. But again, we're focusing on brevity and conciseness and just really producing that elevator pitch. Okay. Just to capture attention. That's the main focus. Okay. And I promise if you go over one sentence, the resume police are not going to come to your house. They're not going to arrest you and slap you in cuffs or anything like that. Okay. Totally fine. Alrighty. So, why do you want to include an objective statement on your resume? Well, again, for a lot of the reasons that I said, you know, and when done well, it can capture the potential employer's attention. It can add a lot of value to your resume, and it can really set the tone for the rest of your resume as well. Okay. So it's really important to include that objective. Alrighty. Okay, so we're going to be going over several different examples for dental hygienist objective statements. Okay, because and the reason mainly is because as a dental hygienist, you can have varying levels of education, right? You can have an associate's degree, bachelor's, master's, and varying levels of experience as well. Okay, so we're going to start off with entry level. Okay, so when you um, so first of all, it's important to note that whatever degree you have or whatever education experience that you're bringing to the potential employer, um, you're definitely going to be able to make a difference in promoting oral health. Okay, but you're going to want to phrase your objective statements a little bit differently in order to reflect your education and experience. So let's start off with entry level dental hygienist resume objectives. Okay. So, this is really for the job seeker who doesn't have any experience or has very, very little experience as an actual working dental hygienist. Okay. So, here's an example for you. To offer oral health to the clinic's clients by staying current with science and products in order to make it easy for the patient and the practice to be more profitable. Okay. Um, Sorry, I misread that. Let me try one more time. To offer oral health to the clinic's clients by staying current with science and products in order to make it easy for the patient and the practice more profitable. That's what I meant to say. Sorry about that. Okay. Alrighty. So that is an objective statement that adds a lot of value. In just one sentence, we talked about how this job seeker's focus is on oral health, how they really want to support the patients by making processes easy for them, how they really value science, up to date and modern science and products, and how they plan to affect the practice's bottom line in terms of profit. Okay, so there's a hopefully you can kind of see the value that is added just by that one sentence and how much it can really capture somebody's attention to kind of focus on all these different areas while still staying concise and brief. Okay. Alrighty. And again, this is an entry level objective statement. So we didn't talk a lot about experience per se, but we did talk a lot about intent and what the job seeker is plans to do if they are hired for this role. Okay. So still very, very impactful. Okay. All right. So now let's talk about an example for a dental hygienist resume and a resume objective for a dental hygienist who has an associate's degree. So if you have an associate's degree as a dental hygienist, you likely have classes, participate in labs, practice your skills over the course of probably 2 years, right? And those sorts of things. So an objective statement, a really good example for an objective statement for you dental hygienist with your associate's degree might be as follows: poised to contribute to the capacity of a passionate dental hygienist, using remarkable talents in preventing and managing dental cavities and gum disease, ability to choose and apply suitable fluoride treatments, and handle dental restorations. Okay. That one was a whole 3 sentences, everyone. That was a whole 3 sentences, but you know what? That's okay. It's an objective statement. It was still concise. And we touched on a lot of key skills, right? Being passionate, right, which is definitely a key ingredient in being a dental hygienist. Loving what you do means that you will do it better. Okay. Preventing and managing dental cavities and gum disease, choosing and applying suitable fluoride treatments, handling dental restorations. There's a lot of impact in just those 3 short sentences. Okay. So hopefully you can kind of see that. All right. Alrighty, so moving on to dental hygienist with a bachelor's degree. So having a bachelor's degree, you may choose to get a bachelor's degree if you have your associates. But if you have a bachelor's degree, that generally means that you have more in-depth instruction and specialized courses than an associate's. For example, forensic dentistry, leadership and management, and research methodology are major related course topics for a bachelor's degree. Okay. So let's explore an example of a resume objective for a dental hygienist with a bachelor's degree. Support patients in their desire to maintain or restore dental health while also contributing to office productivity by using cutting edge goods and procedures that align with current philosophical developments. Okay. So that again, that statement, very, very impactful and very much reflective of someone, of a dental hygienist, a job seeker with a bachelor's degree, right? Because we're going a little bit more in depth, a little bit more into the nitty gritty. Restore dental health, office productivity, cutting edge goods and procedures that align with current philosophical developments. Okay. Alrighty. And then last but not least, if you're a dental hygienist and you decide that you want to go on and get your master's degree, that may mean that that would likely mean that your profession entails more than just performing dental procedures. Individuals licensed or individual licensed dental hygienists with bachelor's degrees are eligible for a master's degree to further their education. And if that is a path that you choose, that's definitely something that you're going to want to highlight and really kind of convey in your resume and especially in your objective statement. Okay. For example, competent and experienced registered dental hygienists seeking a position at a dental practice to put skills in oral health care to good use while ensuring that patients are well informed about procedures and outcomes. Okay. So great example there. So this follows a little bit more of the more traditional sort of objective statements and what you might find a little bit more, like I said, in the traditional pattern, right? Talking about mentioning the job title, and keeping it down to one sentence and that sort of thing. Okay, but this dental hygienist, first of all, mentions that they're registered. Okay, which is great information to include. They mention their skills in oral health care, and ensuring patients are well informed about procedures and outcomes. So, able to provide that detail and that information and conveying that and communicating that effectively with those patients. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm hoping that you guys can kind of see the impact of really having, one of those statements at the very top of your resume in order to garner interest and cultivate interest in what the potential employer or the reviewer of your resume is going to expect for the rest of your resume. And there are different, like I said, there are different strategies that you can utilize. I know we're just talking about just an objective statement here, but there are multiple different strategies that you can use, multiple things that you can mention, and a lot of information that you can convey in just a short sentence or a statement. Okay. Alrighty. So again, you don't have to necessarily adhere to the more traditional format, just one sentence, making sure that you mention the specific job title or anything like that. Your focus here is on brevity, but impact, high impact. Okay. All right. So, hope you enjoyed the video today, and we're going to be back next week with another video talking about objective statements for dental assistants. Okay, so going over some of this information again, but we're going to be bringing you examples and more, like I said, targeted information on what you want to focus on as a dental assistant in writing your objective. Okay, but until next week, I hope everyone has a great week, great weekend, and I hope you continue to stay safe out there. We'll talk soon. Thanks for tuning in.